and we're about ready to go racing. First permanent road course of this season here at Barber Motorsports Park. The green flies, and Grosjean leads this star-studded field of green.
Great start from Romain Grosjean, side by side behind him as Pato O'Ward tries to go on the outside of Alex Palou, and I think he's going to pull that off. He'll have a great run on Grosjean now into 5.
Oh, Palou's looking good here with a run already. No push to pass, but he has the draft going to the brake zone.
And he's on those softer compound tyres. He said they should work well. And Grosjean runs wide. It opens the door not only for O'Ward, but for Palou. Look at this, wheel to wheel on the opening lap. Grosjean's got the better line and keeps the lead.
Oh, and Palou snuck it inside Pato O'Ward, so Palou was patient but pounced when it mattered.
The patience I love there is out of Pato O'Ward. It would have been so easy for him to just turn in after he was cleared by Romain Grosjean, with Palou just sneaking in there side by side now through the chicane. That's a tough place to do that.
Pink car with Simon Pagenaud on the green and black machine, Callum Ilott. Oh, wheel to wheel through there, that almost doesn't work.
That's Callum Ilott and David Malukas, two young stars going at it on the first lap.
Look for that Joseph Newgard move on the inside of 16 here. Callum Ilott keeps it tight, doesn't give David Malukas the chance. Some great action here.
That was on board very quickly with the 1Q Honda of Graham Rahal, a two-time podium place getter here. Is Will Power fighting with the green, black and blue Honda, the Gainbridge machine of Colton Herta.
Yeah, that yellow and black car of Colton Herta just made the move on Will Power to go up one spot. All three Team Penske's cars on the harder black tire as Power counters back.
Is there contact? That was close, really close. That was that turn 5 I was telling you about earlier, one of the key spots.
And he said something is definitely wrong.
Oh, Marty, excuse me, there's a move for the lead. Alex Palou inside turn 5. Grosjean doesn't want to have anything to do with it. They're wheel to wheel down this mid-pack straight, and Grosjean's going to prevail again.
And I promise you, Grosjean's inside the cockpit going, dude, what are you doing? We've got to be able to save some gas if we're going to make this on 2 stops, but Palou is pouncing.
Meanwhile, Pato O'Ward in 3rd place is sitting there thinking, yeah, guys, go ahead, go at it, burn that fuel. I'm going to sit back here and save what I need, as Palou again right up on the gearbox.
Yeah, how's Colton Herta doing behind the wheel? Listen in.
Yeah, we got reds, they're dead. 10-4, 10-4.
I mean, just begging to come in, and this is the tough point. Hinch, didn't you say this is a crossover point?
5-4,
they are
5-4. Can you do it?
hanging on
I
right
don't know.
now. There you go. He's saying, I don't know if I can make it to lap 30 like you want me to.
Well, and I think the mistake was getting up behind VK and really trying to press and get by, and all of a sudden you lose downforce on the car, you're in dirty air. You ask the tires to handle most of the grip as opposed to the downforce, and then you abuse those tires and you just don't get them back after that.
Meanwhile, let's not forget about the race leader. The Delaware Life Honda of Romain Grosjean is comfortably 1.5 seconds out in front.
So much harder driving 10/10ths for the entire race rather than fuel saving, as we said. Colton Herta, he had to bail, Marty, a couple laps shy of what he wanted.
I mean, begging to come in, coming in early on the 2-stop window side. He gets those primary tires, those fresh primary tires, waiting on fuel. A little bit Herta leads, so this will open the window for the 2-stoppers.
2 of the leaders, Kevin, have come to pit lane.
Pato O'Ward said the tire deck was not bad. He made it work, getting to the lap he needed, 29. He's going to primaries this time. Marty, there's Scott Dixon right around him.
Working lap 30, Scott Dixon comes in, admitted, boy, those alternates were a handful. Look at that, 3 turns of front wing going to the primaries for Dixon. He feels like this has been their strength the entire weekend. Watch him on this run. Kyle Kirkwood also, look at that battle off pit road.
How about that? Dixon on the attack of O'Ward. There's David Malukas. He's going to be right in the middle of this. And watch this run down to turn 5, both on those cold tires, first lap out of the pits. This is the part of the track where Pato O'Ward sealed the deal for his victory a year ago, and he's able to stay a couple of car lengths ahead of Dixon.
I wonder what Pato O'Ward is thinking, looking in his mirrors, knowing full well how mad Dixon still is about Long Beach. Dixon's been on him the whole race, still 60 laps for Dixon to just prowl back there and wait for his chance.
Guys, you rarely want to look in your mirror and see Scott Dixon. If you're Pato O'Ward today, it's the last person you want to see, just knowing what's happening is now Dixon's having to defend against Christian Lundgaard, who's on those alternate tires. Christian needs to pounce now if he's going to make this swap stick, and the leaders are in. out of turn 13. Will he dive down the inside? Scott covers.
Dixon defends. He knows that Newgarden style move. And look at this. On the last turn, Lundgaard pounces and gets Scott Dixon. That's a savvy move.
That was a beautiful pass
Good
from
job with
Christian
that, but we still
Lundgaard.
need the fuel number.
Rico, his strategist, telling him, yeah, that was nice, but guys, we got to think big picture
Well,
here.
because Lundgaard pitted on lap 28 on the early side, so to make that stretch to the end, he's really got to figure out some ways to coast.
He
Dave.
just asked back to the team what number. He wants to know for sure, so he gets on it.
Yeah, that'd be a useful piece of information right now.
Is running in the top 10 in the NTT IndyCar Series championship points in his second year of competition.
Oh, look at that.
Teammates have swapped positions. McLaughlin gets ahead of Joseph Newgarden, and Newgarden looks like he's got his hands full with that PPG Chevy.
2 more
Lap
laps.
here, pit this lap.
Oh,
That's why. We saw it on the previous lap, and it was going away from him. Newgarden is in for the second of 3 stops.
well, he's got 2 more laps on his tires than McLaughlin. Marty, Newgarden bailing out of this one, coming in for freshies.
But all within the range of what they had planned to do all along. Newgarden has really struggled on the alternate tires, even though they're going to go to another set of alternate tires here. These are going to be scuffed alternate tires going on for Joseph Newgarden. I would expect this stint to be even shorter. Remember, he has that issue from earlier in the race with the right rear suspension, so you got to wonder if that is playing a part here in the handling as well for the 2 car.
Let's take a look at the replay of McLaughlin making the move on his teammate into that fast section. Newgarden really doesn't try to defend. Now, got to wonder, why is Newgarden going to use reds? That's because he only has to do 22 laps to make it to that window for his final stop, presumably on sticker blacks, as there is a stalled car, the 51 of Stingray Robb.
The Biohaven car has come to a stop. Is this going to bring out the first full course caution?
Did Tim Cindric see this happening and
Guys,
call
I'm
Newgarden
sorry,
in?
that was-
Alexander Rossi dives into pit lane. They're going to try to get here before that yellow comes, and Scott McLaughlin, the leader, in as well.
If you're a 3-stopper, you want a box right now. Well, the yellow comes out, then it stacks them up, and they all just have to make one more stop. So
Yeah.
I think it's good news. There's
There it
the
is.
caution.
So the trend continues, meaning the trend of no race here at Barber Motorsports Park in the NTT IndyCar Series has ever gone caution-free. Ready to go back to racing here at Barber. Grosjean will lead this
Green
field
flag,
to
green
green,
flag.
but how long will he stay in the lead? Here we go.
Pretty good jump from Grosjean. He only has to go about 17 more laps to make his last stop to get to the end. But McLaughlin will be pressing hard.
And it's the 2 guys who gave us that ultimate theater on the streets of St. Petersburg to start the year. McLaughlin and Grosjean going for the win again. Here's Alex Palou defending from Christian Lundgaard, and Lundgaard does the over and under beautifully.
Remember, no push to pass yet, and what a great move from Christian Lundgaard on those softer alternate tires to go around the 2021 Series champion. Great driving.
Think about what a relief it is for Rahal Letterman Lanigan to see that Hy-V Honda up there and Lundgaard leading the charge for the team.
So crucial now for Scott McLaughlin to push. We got to take a look at his lap times when he comes back around. Use the push to pass, use what's left of those alternate tires, and try to see if he can leapfrog Romain Grosjean.
McLaughlin has a pristine half racetrack to himself right now as Newgarden, I don't know how much longer he's going to hold off Scott Dixon and Will Power. They are ready to get by, urgent to get by.
And Alexander Rossi, the last car in that shot you see on the right. Felix Rosenquist is growing impatient as well. By the way, Christian Lundgaard pitted. Here's Dixon. Dixon on the inside of Newgarden. Whoa, just squeezes the PNC Bank Honda in there. And here, that causes a traffic jam. They're swamping Newgarden.
Keep going, you're fine.
Somebody.
Power's pitting.
Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Here I go. I'm coming through, and Will Power has dived for pit lane. No, he hasn't. He stays out.
He wants to stay out. He's a 3-stopper. He wants clean air right now with Dixon in the pit. So now Power has to make some magic happen and bust out incredible pace.
Here's McLaughlin in. Race leader is in. Now we put our eyes on Romain Grosjean. And watch where these 2 guys come out. One Honda driver, one Chevrolet driver, where they join on the racetrack. Kevin, here comes McLaughlin.
It should be really close, and I think you guys are right. I think this is a lap or 2 earlier than they wanted. They wanted to get a bigger gap. McLaughlin's car has been great. He's got primary Firestones. to go to the rest of the way. No fuel save concerns, so he can go harder than Grosjean. And let's watch the blend as he heads back out on track.
Still on that pit stop speed limiter. Pit exit is like going off a ski run right here. You go off and downhill, and here comes Romain Grosjean.
This is going to be good. McLaughlin comes out ahead, but on cold tires, and Grosjean is going to be pushing 100% for the next couple corners.
Turn 5.
Whatever you want.
Turn 5, here we go, setting up. This is where the race was won a year ago with Pato O'Ward and Rinus VeeKay from a long way back, but he's not close enough.
It's St. Pete, take 2, guys, version 2.0. McLaughlin 1 lap colder on tires. Grosjean on the button, doesn't quite have the run into turn 8 here, but it's not over yet. If McLaughlin can keep him behind through turn 16, he goes wide here. Not gonna get it, it's a flat out chicane they're heading to. God, this is as close as you want, Townsend.
Tough to make a move, especially going into the fastest and gnarliest section right here. Watch McLaughlin up ahead, drop into the valley.
Romain Grosjean's got to do a Joseph Newgarden style move. Inside opportunity coming up. Can he get his car tight to the right? Tight to the right, no, McLaughlin blocks that.
Watch him try to cross it up and make it happen right here.
Oh, inside. Romain Grosjean wheel to wheel with Scott McLaughlin for the lead.
Fantastic stuff.
That's the kind of move you want to see, aggressive but calculated. And Scott McLaughlin gave him just enough room to pull it off, the 28 to the point.
That was awesome. Set up, thought about, and executed perfectly by Romain Grosjean.
And you have to wonder how much additional respect McLaughlin felt like he owed Grosjean from St. Pete. He gave him just enough room to keep it safe. But boy, it's got to sting for McLaughlin. He would have loved that extra lap or 2 in clean air to not be in this situation.
He just needed an extra corner or 2, Townsend.
Yeah.
That really was the difference. I'm not sure how the 3 would have held up through turn 3. As we look at that replay, such a good call from Romain Grosjean to throw it on the outside of 16 there and just commit.
Look at that. Switch to the outside, then went on the attack to the inside.
And I had just been praising the frugality of Grosjean's push-to-pass usage. He had about 150 seconds left last time we mentioned it, and now he's at 0, and now he almost went off the track. The left rear barely staying together.
And this is such a tough position for Scott McLaughlin to be in. He's going to know that Romain Grosjean is out of push to pass, but he has got to be still smart. 30 seconds left. That's going to give you probably 4 good attempts. You want to do it now while you're close. Your tires are going to be wearing more running in that dirty air, but you don't want to waste it on an attempt that's not going to come through. So he's got to be smart about how he uses it.
And look at this replay here. Exiting turn 3. Oh! That was big old snap. Remember how Newgarden lost it a year ago in that same section, and I think Grosjean is still having to drive to a decent fuel number here. I'm hearing some coasting, Marty. 4/10 to the good, thanks to NTT, as Grosjean goes way wide.
Way wide. Oh, and almost comes back in. That turn 5 spot is a real handful for Grosjean. There's going to be a new race leader. His name is Scott McLaughlin.
With no push to pass left, there was absolutely nothing Romain Grosjean could do. Scott got on the button, easily cleared him into turn 8, and to the lead go the Thirsty Threes.
With 21 seconds to push to pass, and you got to think Grosjean's heart just sunk there.
Yep. Is it going to be second again for Romain Grosjean? He's come so close multiple times. 19 laps to go. It'll be 18 this time by.
I'm still trying to figure out where all those push-to-pass seconds went to. Like, I think Grosjean's a bit confused.
So here's how it happened.
Into turn 5, just got in hot. You saw that left front just starting to lock. Sends him to the outside.
And at this point, he might be all right still if he had the push-to-pass to defend. But with nothing left, you're really a sitting duck.
And Romain Grosjean is going to be absolutely kicking himself for that move. If Scott McLaughlin just got a good run out of 2 and had the push to pass, that's one thing. But because it comes from a mistake on the driver's side, as a driver, you know, Townsend, from inside the cockpit, you never want to lose a position because of a mistake like that. And unfortunately, it was the position that Romain Grosjean lost. Very, very unfortunate.
I want to take you back just a few moments ago. This is Meyer Shank Racing's Simon Pagenaud grass tracking it. A race winner here at Barber. Boy, that was a lucky catch. And this is Callum Eilert. Honko's Hollinger Chevrolet.
Oh, That is close. Simon Pagenaud still recovering from all the dirt on his tires.
And then this is Alexander Rossi, the Mission Foods onboard, and Scott Dixon up ahead.
Wow. Was able to lay down a fistful of throttle, leaving turn 5. Great grip out of the back end of the car. Side by side they go, but the inside driver almost always has the advantage there.
6 laps to go, that's all. Here comes Power. He's a multiple-time winner here at Barber Motorsports Park, and he's got his eyes on this Andretti Autosport Honda.
The difference is Will Power has had 10 laps of beautiful, clean Barber Motorsports air, and now he's in the wake of Romain Grosjean. So now this is where the driver really has to get up in the seat and try to figure out how to mix your lines up, find some clean air, and wait for the right opportunity. 16 seconds of push to pass left for Will Power.
How and when? Or does he take the conservative route and grab this 3rd spot? I don't think so. I think he'd like to get that and make it a Team Penske 1-2.
You use a good burst out of turn 17 on the front straight to close the gap up to turn 1, and then out of turn 2. You hammer it. It's the white flag they're coming to. His run down into turn 5 is going to be his last real good shot to make this happen, Townsend. I think this is what he's got to do. He's got to do it now.
He's got to get closer, though.
Scott McLaughlin begins the final 2.3 miles with a comfortable lead. He got his first IndyCar Series win last year on the streets of St. Petersburg. Followed it up with 2 road course victories at Mid-Ohio and at Portland. So this will be his 4th career win and 4th different circuit.
Grosjean doing a perfect job to just maximize the radius, keep that mid-corner flow up, and just kind of glide his way through the corners, watching his mirror the whole time. At this point, it would take a small miracle for Power to close that gap.
Scott McLaughlin was going for the win at St. Petersburg, and it didn't happen with that late race collision with Romain Grosjean. At Texas, he finished 6th, a top 10 at Long Beach. Not quite ideal. Today, the picture of speed and consistency. New Zealand motorsport fans will celebrate because their man here is bringing it home. Scott McLaughlin wins at Barber Motorsports Park and makes it 4 different winners. 4 different winners to start this year. And McLaughlin says the thirsty 3s to the moon, boys. That's what he calls his crew. The thirsty 3s. He pipped his teammate yesterday in qualifying, Joseph Newgarden, to make the Firestone Fast 6 with a just dynamic last lap to make the cut. And he's done it here for the victory for the first time at this racetrack in spectacular style.
Scott McLaughlin, a winner. At Barber Motorsports Park. He's not doing the roll. He said he was going to give that up. That's an accidental thing that happened after his first win at St. Pete. Ben Bretzman, his engineer, with a big hug in there. So Ben told you after the checkered flag, how much better was that to be on offense all day long in that 3-stop strategy versus saving fuel?
I call it a happy driver strategy. I was a lot happier doing that, but I'm so thankful. First weekend for Good Ranchers on the car. What an amazing thing for them to be with us this weekend. My team advanced me to victory lane there. We had great fuel. Went past Grosjean there on a little bit of strategy, advanced past him, and I feel really good about it. So really happy to advance to victory lane and be really pumped about it.
I want to ask you about the battle with Grosjean. Was St. Pete in the back of your mind thinking, man, I got to give him a lot of room. I don't want to run into him again.
Nah, we're racers. You just get on with it. You know, as good as your last race, you get on with it. We talked over man to man, and as far as I'm concerned, and he's concerned, we race hard and fair and press on, and there's no hard feelings between the two of us. But I'm glad to get a win here for 33s. Like, it's been coming. We've been close. We just didn't quite get it the last few rounds, but we got it now.
Boy, these numbers may shock you, but +6 in the championship standings, now 4th, just 11 out of the championship, and the month of May starts tomorrow. How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, May is going to be an awesome time for us. I can't wait. best race in the world's coming up here soon, and to start end April like this and start in May hopefully on a good note is a really proud achievement. But just super proud of my team, the Chevy for the fuel mileage. We had a hell of a strategy there today, and yeah, super pumped. Hey, mum and dad at home, Carly at home as well, and see you guys soon.
I got to tell you that your Good Ranchers, first race with them, they're going bananas here in Victory Lane. You got a lot of Cowboys that are happy.
Well, I had a lot of Cowboys last night having a few drinks. I know that for sure. Hopefully they've got enough juice to have another party tonight.
Scott McLaughlin picks a very good time to get his first top 5 of the year. It's a win at Barber Motorsports Park, Kevin.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.